Hello there, everybody. Welcome along to the EFL Debate League One podcast. And I'm delighted to be joined from the top two of League One by Mr. Matt Farley from the
I'm,
Stevenage Football Club podcast.
I'm so happy, Gab. I'm so happy, mate. I'm wearing this badge with absolute pride. My favourite team, my favourite one, Gab. Second place after 9 matches, mate. I'm on top of the world right now, mate.
Wow. Because there was part of me, Matt, that felt like you'd kind of reached, you think sometimes, without disrespecting a club of Stevenage side rooted in non-league, founded in 1976, have their, was ninth in League One in 23-24, the summit for your sort of this era of the club. And maybe not, because it's been an astonishing start to the season.
Yeah, do you know what it is, Gab? I think, it kind of goes back, doesn't it? Obviously, a couple of years ago was our first season in League One after the promotion, obviously, with Steve Evans. And I think that season was just a season to see how well we could keep doing, right? And we upgraded the squad and we brought in League One players like Dan Butler and Louis Thompson and had that 9th place finish. Obviously, a wonderful season. And then last year was really all about consolidating and just trying to build a team that would consolidate, which we did. But I think we as a club, the management team, knowing the people that they are, the Alex Revels of the world who are very ambitious and passionate and want to achieve, we don't just want to be sitting in League One. As much as that is a great achievement, given our position in COVID, because we had that relegation, the reprieve. I mean, if you'd have said to me, when we were going through those tough times, Gab, that in 3-4 years would be in League One, I never would have believed you. But,
top end of League One as well.
Oh, unbelievable! 9 matches, 7 wins. What is going on? But we've got people here. We don't just want to be in League One. We want to be competitive in League One. We want to challenge in League One. So this season was the start of a new era and start of a new journey, seeing us become a top half League One team. And we kept all the original players that we know are capable of being there. Some of these players have done it for a long time in their careers. When you look at Charlie Good and Dan Butler, and then you've got originals like Cole Pigiani, who's proved that he's good enough, Jamie Reid, Jordan Roberts, the whole kind of bulk of the originals. But then we upgraded the team and brought in players who are of that top League One level: Jordan Houghton, Shem Campbell, Phoenix, Saxon, Bez Labala, Jasper Patton, and Ghassan Ahmad, players that have played up there in their careers. So I think for us, again, it's unbelievable what we're doing. But I think deep down, we had a sneaky feeling that we might potentially be up in the top 5, somewhat doing the things we're doing, because we saw it in pre-season. We saw the squad depth. And lo and behold, we've had a wonderful start. But no, it's unbelievable to be up here. And now we get to enjoy all these top League One level matches. So, it's going to be exciting.
If I'm going to sort of push back on the optimism, which I know is very difficult because you're on cloud 9 at the moment. You're on cloud 9.
I could cry, Gab. Happiest I've ever been as a Stevenage Football Club fan.
you're on cloud 10 at the moment. But I just wonder, if I look at the fixtures, Matt, between now and say Christmas, I can read them out to you. Luton at home, Peterborough away, Lincoln away, Bradford at home, Reading away, Bolton at home, Doncaster at home, Wigan away, Cardiff at home, Stockport away, between now and the festive period, which starts with Burton at home. So between now and the festive period, you're only ever either playing away from home or facing a team that's currently in and around the playoffs or higher. So that suggests that the next, I don't know what it would be, sort of 15 games is going to be 10 games maybe, is going to be really tough. And I'm just wondering, is there something to be said for let's just see how we get on in those games? And, we've given ourselves a nice cushion with the start, but let's sort of cool things down and see how we get on between now and Christmas.
Yeah, I think it's a very valid point, isn't it? I mean, when you look at the 9 matches that we've had, I said to the boys on the podcast, we've had one big test, and that was Huddersfield, really, because You know, when you look at all the other matches, I think we've played a lot of the bottom 14 teams. Now, don't get me wrong, we've won all of them games against those sides. And again, in football, you can only beat what's put in front of you, really. And we've done that, right? Huddersfield away that day, that was the day that I stood there and I kind of went, wow, what a team we've got. Because I remember that last 30 minutes, we just dominated the game. And again, I was pinching myself going, I've never seen a team of ours play like this here. Jesus, Lord. And that was the day we lost 1-0. We come out the ground. It didn't feel like a loss. We played that well. You know, I remember the Huddersfield fans were going, my God, you've got a team, haven't you, after the game? So we've had one big test. So I think it's a very valid point. What I will say as well, Peterborough's just been called off for internationals. So the next three are Luton, Lincoln, Bradford.
Gosh.
Yeah, so it's going to be very exciting. Again, I think Bolton might be off with internationals. I think that falls on an international weekend. But no, look, I think it's a very valid point. We've only played one of the real top teams. But this is what I'm excited for, Gab. I really believe in this squad, what we've built. I think our start shows that, even though that we've played a lot of those bottom 14 teams. And I'm excited to see how we do against these top teams. You know, I want to see how great our team is, because against Huddersfield, we proved how great we were in our performance that day. I'm excited for Luton. I'm excited for Lincoln and Bradford and all these matches we've got coming up. So, yeah, look, I think we know that, you know, we haven't played a lot of these top teams and our feet are firmly on the ground. It's difficult for me because I'm like a kid. And when I see my team with 22 points before October, I just feel a sense of pride. But no, I think it's a valid point that you've made. I think, look, if after Luton, Lincoln and Bradford, we're still up in that top two, we're into November, then why not? Because we would have proved it against those sides. But no, look, I do see your point. I think we do need to see how we get through this kind of bracket of games.
I think if Stevenage finished in a top 10 this season, I think that would be a fantastic achievement, even if, you know, the form so far suggests, you know, you've got your eye on higher. Let's not lose sight of the bigger picture, and top 10 would be, a great achievement, I think.
Can I ask you a question, actually, Gab?
Go for it.
Do you think there's an and again, I know it's a bit of a difficult question, because obviously, you know, we've only played 9 matches, but at heart of hearts, can you see a way of us being in there competing at the end of the season? I know it's a long season. There's a lot of games,
Sure.
things can happen. But what do you think personally?
So I suppose the case for Stevenage would be that it can happen. We've seen previous seasons, Burton Albion finished in the top 2 of League One. Maybe the financial climate then was a little bit different. Shrewsbury ran Wigan and Blackburn very close a couple of years after that. So it has been done in the past. I'm very conscious of the financial climate in League One now. So if we look at the division, you've got not even looking at the teams currently inside the top 6, like Bradford, Lincoln, and Wimbledon, but I'm looking at Cardiff and Huddersfield, who have really good squads. You've got Luton, who have got Premier League parachute payments in League One. You've got Stockport County, who have got a 100 millionaire sort of owner. You've got Bolton Wanderers, who I expect to put a run together. So if I was to say teams that are expecting to finish in the top 6, I think Cardiff, Huddersfield, Luton, Stockport, and Bolton. You say to any of them you've finished outside the top 6, I think that would be considered a failure for them. So on that logic, there's probably only going to be 1 or 2 spaces available in the top 6, even though at the moment, 10 games in, it's taken up by other teams. But I would expect that to level out to a certain extent. But I do think I am excited. And I think there was something that you mentioned as well, Matt, which is the points return. So let's say you need 75 points to get in. Well, that means Stevenage have got to get 53 points from the
111.
37, from a possible 111, sure. So from 37 games, which isn't an enormous ask.
Yeah.
I can see why you're excited, that's for sure.
Because I did my homework a little bit, and I'm really happy you've brought that point up, because I was going to bring this up. We've got 22 points from 27 at the minute. And 75 points, 77 points. We were working out from 111, we'd need around about half. And I could see us picking up that. Do you know what I mean? And there was a statistic of one of the, is it Tom? I think one of the podcasts or things that you've been on before, Gab. and he was talking about statistics in League One over the last 10 years, and he was saying teams that are in the top 6, 62% of those sides have stayed there over the last 10 years. And then he was reading out a stat from the top 2, and he was going, over the last 10 years, a side that has started in the top 2, one of those teams has got promoted every year over the last 10 years. And I was just thinking, that to me seems crazy, because you see us and Bradford, and nobody would have put us 2 in that.
I had you 17th and I had Bradford 20th, and I feel like a right lemon for that.
I bet the Bradford fans hate you, don't they, for that? I bet they're on at you every week. You see us, we love you, guys. You're like a designated Stevenage Football Club fan. We love you, but I bet the Bradford fans are like, every win, it's like...
Oh, yeah. you find it easier to forgive, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Look, the thing is, we're small. We get it, right? But no, that statistic, I just find mad. And it's not the what if, but you listen to that statistic and you think, well, we've got 22 points already. I mean, 50, we're knocking on the door near the playoff. That's really achievable. So, I believe in them. Look, we know what we created for this kind of massive season. And I mean, look, it's going to be very exciting. I mean, come Christmas, January, my God, we're going to know if we're going to be there or not. So,
yeah, absolutely. Picking out stars of the season so far, then, Matt, are we looking at Harvey White as one of the key players for Stevenage thus far?
Yeah, I think Harvey's firmly in that top 3 at the minute. Look, Gab, there's been quite a few. I mean, obviously, the performances from this squad have been magnificent and dominant and brilliant. Look, Harvey's had a wonderful season. He scored a couple of goals. He's got many assists. It's his performance. I actually think it's Harvey White's best season for us since joining. I think Alex Ravel, and this is where I also give massive credit to Revs. I give so much credit to the guy already. I love him. He's my favourite manager for us. But I think Alex Ravel, not only is he a great manager, he's a great coach with the players, Revs. He's got that, real in with the players. And I think Harvey's really excelling under Alex Ravel with the way that he wants to play. So I think Harv has come on leaps and bounds this season. Charlie Good and Cole Pidgiani. I mean, look, we know Pidge is dominant every season, but Charlie Good, he's been one of the best players this season. He's been dominant. And, a little bit like certain other players like Jamie Reid, Charlie Good, this is a big season for Charlie Good. Goody wants to get back playing the levels that he played. And that's his own admission. So Charlie's had a wonderful season, dominant. I think he's leading in aerial stats in League One. I read that the other day. Not surprised. He's been dominant and he scored a goal as well. Again, Cole
you don't need to imagine, but him and Pidgiani in the same centre-back pairing.
It's not even the case of if they're going to win it. It's a ball goes in the end. It's like, right, who's going to win it? Good or Pidge? Because it's going to be one of them 2. So who's going to win it? Both built a brilliant partnership. And look, we've got the second best defence at the minute. But you know what? A couple of mentions. Obviously, Jamie Reid, obviously, big goal Reedy.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've got to say fair play to the club for sticking with Jamie Reid, because it's easy to be big on him after he scored all those goals in 23-24. I think it would have been easy to maybe question things a little bit and to go big on striker. I think that's probably what I might have done if I was in the club's position in the summer, go big hard and early on strikers in the window. Although you did bring in Ghassan Ahadmi, he's only started once, come off the bench a lot. And it has been a case of saying, you know what, Jamie Reid, we've got full confidence in you. I think that was risky. I think that approach would have been criticised if it had gone the other way and he hadn't started the way he has. But fair play to the club for having the courage there, conviction, and sticking by their centre forward.
I agree with you. And I think the thing is as well, look, we're talking about a Jamie Reid 2 years ago. We got in League One Team of the Year. So we know he's good enough at the level. He's had an injury and that really hampered him last season. But he said full pre-season, better squad, all this quality and depth around him, he's going to score goals. And I'll tell you what, actually, Gav, just one more player I just want to throw in there who has been wonderful. And I had a feeling he was going to be this good. Phoenix Patterson. Oh my goodness, Gab. What the, do you know what? I'm shocked he's not starting a lot more than he has been. Oh my goodness. He comes on and he's like a magician with both feet. Honestly.
Order of the Phoenix, the magician.
Yeah, that's a great one. I like that. Maybe we could do a little creation with Harry Potter or something to get
exactly.
a terrible example. But But no, wow, what a player at the level. And do you know what? I'm over the moon for him, because when we signed him, I said to the boys, he's absolutely made for this level. His quality, his technical ability. I remember him at Fleetwood. He's got both
Yeah.
feet. You don't know which way he's
He
going to go with
creates tons of chances, doesn't he? Like
the.
he'll lay on chances for your centre forwards
Yeah,
if
he
you
just
give him the
opens
ammunition.
up play. And what a wonderful season he's having. Oh, look, he hasn't scored yet. Phoenix, he's got an assist in there, but wow, what a play. When he gets the ball, these right backs just don't know what way he's going. Every time he's played, he's been magnificent. At Huddersfield, he came on and just changed the game. And Huddersfield didn't know. Sorensen, at right back, brilliant player, right? And he was great at that. Phoenix come on, he didn't know what to do. He was running past, he was getting. It was honestly, what a player. I think he could go up the levels over the next few years. He's a
Yeah.
brilliant technical player. What a player he is. Yeah.
Wow, really excited about Phoenix Patterson. And then I just kind of wanted to explore other, because there's been so many, hasn't there? I mean, I love the fact that, you know, two of your defenders scored headers last time out, and 3 goal involvements for Harvey White as well. I think that's brilliant. What about Luther Wilding? Because he's one that's must be coming up to 10 years, I imagine. He's been at Stevenage, not far off that.
Yeah, it's not far off it at all. Yeah, look, Luther's been just dominant. I think it's a thing with these players that they're of that level that every time they play, they just always play to the same level. And Luther's been brilliant. I actually think Luther's one of the better defensive right backs in the division as well. I think defensively, his athleticism is so powerful and fast. You won't see many players get past Luther on that right hand side. And actually, it's a thing that I've noticed with quite a few teams who have tried to actually get us down that left side of the pitch and not on Luther's side. We've seen that a lot this season. People trying to get at Dan Butler and Freestone when he's played. Luther's been just wonderful, just dominant on that right side. I like Luther because not only defensively is he really good, he's got that athleticism and that speed and that power to get forward and get in behind. And he's improved a lot on his delivery into the box as well. He's having a wonderful season, Gab. And again, I'm certain down the line, Luther's going to get picked up by a bigger club eventually. Whatever division that's in, I'm kind of leaning maybe towards a championship. If he keeps.
You don't really, you'd pitch him for a championship, mate, because I'm wondering actually whether it might be more of a case of he becomes a bit of a Stevenage stalwart and you know, possibly becomes all. Actually, he might have played for Dino Marmrit and Nuneaton, didn't he? So I was going to say one club man, but I don't think he is. But you know, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, Dino signed him from Nuneaton. I think Dino managed there and managed Luther, and he'd come up. Yeah, I mean, look, potentially. I mean, look, Luther's very settled down here. He's got a family, lives in Hitchin, so it's all very local. But I just think with it, again, a little bit like Phoenix, he's got the ability to go on and maybe get a big move somewhere. If that will happen, God knows. I mean, he's been here nearly 10 years, as you said. But again, he's been wonderful this season. And but again, Gab, this is the thing with this squad. If Luther doesn't perform, Jasper Pattenden plays, and Jasper Pattenden plays to that level. So there's no room for Luther to play badly because he'll just be replaced. That sounds really mean because Luther's a legend, but it's the truth. It's the same with Dan Butler. Dan Butler had a couple of games. Lewis Freestone's played and been brilliant. So that's the level of the squad.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I suppose Freestone's more of a defensive option, maybe away from home, whereas maybe at the Lamex you'd want Dan Butler with his quality of deliveries and those funny corners that he takes. So yeah, and we can't not talk about Dan Kemp, Matt. I mean, that guy, I love his movement. He just buzzes around in those number 10 areas, doesn't he? And such a strong ball carrier.
Yeah, he is. And do you know what? Look, he's having a really solid season. Like, he hasn't scored many goals yet. I think the beauty about this squad is everybody's going to score goals. So it's not just Kempy this season on his own. Yeah, look, Kempy in that 10 is such a quality play. Picks up the ball in pockets of space and he gets things going for you. He's got a goal this season. He's played really well in his games. Again, he's got competition in that final third. I think this is the wonderful thing about this team, the depth in the final third. My God. I mean, one day you could play Jordan Roberts, Chem Campbell. The other, you could play Besler Bala, Phoenix Patterson. The other day, you could put Jordan Roberts in the 10. I mean, again, Kempy has to perform. And do you know what? I think Dan Kemp's actually going to get better as the season goes on as well. I think he's had a really good start. I think he can actually play better. So I think we'll see Dan Kemp scoring more goals, getting on the action a bit more. But he's having a wonderful season in that number 10 role again. And, when you look at our team, we've got this amazing squad depth, but Dan Kemp's one of your first players on the score on the team sheet every week in that number 10 role. He's pretty much played there every game. So, yeah, what a player. Lovely guy as well, Kempy is. Really nice kid. So it's really nice to have him here. I love him. What a player.
Absolutely. Well, you got Luton at home this weekend, Matt, and such an exciting game because this is Stevenage. This is arguably the best ever Stevenage team, and so that's certainly one of them. But I think if this continues, probably the best. Against Luton, who are probably at their lowest point for quite a long time, I think it's fair to say. And so, is there an excitement that all the pressure's on Luton, despite you being the ones that are in the top two at the moment? And historically, Luton have been the team that their players would go to you at the end of their careers, and you'd have that sort of relationship. Whereas now, you've got that ability to create that siege mentality at the Lamex and have the potential to make it a really difficult afternoon for Luton.
Yeah, what a game. Wow. And it's mental, isn't it? I mean, we call it Derby Day. I mean, it's not really a traditional derby, but, it's because we met each other over the years. The last time we played Luton was 2018. We lost 7-1. I remember being there. It was League Two.
Was that the one where one of their players scored from inside their own half? Or a different postcode?
That's a great question. Potentially. I remember Ben Kennedy scoring. That was the only goal for us that day.
Okay.
It might have been. God, I'm not being funny, Gab. There were so many goals. It's very difficult to remember, to be honest. But
okay, it might have been a different game. Might not have been against.
Yeah. I will say though, if someone would have said to me in 7 years' time you'll be playing each other in League One, and also I just want to say to each other as well, what a story for both clubs. I mean, you've got us who have had look, I'm owning it. I think our story the last 4 to 5 years is one of the most mental ones in the Football League. I think the way on the journey we've been on, reprieve, promotion. I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? But Luton as well, Premier League football, and then back down to League One. I mean, the story of both teams, it's just, mental. So to be playing each other is crazy in itself, but big game for this team. And I agree with you. I've been supporting the team for over 20 years, and the last 8 years, it's been my life. This is the best Stevenage team we have ever had. I'd own it now.
I think the Graham Westley team was a right bunch of scrappers and fighters that had come up from non-league, but you wouldn't say on a technical level you'd compare them with someone like Harvey White or Lewis or
Jordan Houghton.
Houghton, yeah, exactly. There's a higher level of pedigree that I don't think we've seen at Stevenage throughout your history. So from that point of view, it's incredibly exciting. Go on then, Matt. What's possible for Stevenage this season? Presumably you're on the top 6 train now, aren't you?
Yeah, look, I fully believe in this team. And again, I was just going to say to you, that's why I think the Luton game's massive, because, it's our second test. And, we need more of these tests. We need to see how great this team is because, in my opinion, again, after that promotion team that we had a few years ago, this is my favourite and best ever team we've ever had. I fully believe we can be up there. I mean, look, we've got 22 points. We've got 7 wins out of 9. We've got 100% home record as well. I think that's something we forgot to mention. We've got a home games. We've only conceded a couple of shots at home. It's been, unbelievable. I've got to be honest, Gav. I just really think we're going to be in that top 6 at the end of the season. I know it's going to be tough. I know it's a long season. I know that there's some big clubs in this division. But when you're sitting here with 22 points already and you're thinking we need another 50 points to be knocking on the door from 111, I mean, I back this squad to get that. And my mate Andy, obviously, who Gab, do you know what? He said the comment of the season so far. He said to me, do you know the beautiful thing about our squad? And I said, yes, Andy. He went, you could play 2 separate starting 11s and still expect to win with both. And I thought, oh my God, he's absolutely hit the nail on the head. You could play 2 separate 11s and still expect to win games in this division. So I think that describes our squad and our squad depth. And with that in this division, I'm really optimistic. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to win the league, of course. But would I predict us in the top 6 at the end of the season from what I've seen? I would. And that makes me so happy to say, honestly. I can't believe it,
Wow,
but I really believe we can do it.
wow, what a journey. Matt, I'm so excited for you. I've got to get myself down to the Lanarks again and see the revolution.
Oh, I love it.
Exactly. Thanks so much for joining us. Big plans for the podcast for this season.
Yeah, we got loads. We're on YouTube now. Well, hey,
Woo!
so that's been something new this season. Obviously, we're on all the audibles, but now we're on YouTube. So if you want to go and give us a like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube, just whack in the Stevenage Football Club podcast. Yeah, go and do that. Yeah, massive things for the pod. Still flying the pods out like hot dinners. I mean, when your team's second in your most important season, I mean, they go Matt Farley on the end of the pod's just going to be rife, isn't it, Gab? But yeah, no, the pod's doing great. Again, I'm not really into all the numbers of it. I just love recording it. That's my hobby. But
Yeah,
all the boys say to me, the numbers are just being absolutely smashed this season, which is great. But no, it's great to be the real source at Stevenage Football Club for the podcast, giving the supporters a platform and the players and revs, because apparently some of them listen as well. So no, look, if you want to go and give us a follow on the Stevenage Football Club podcast, do that as well, at TSFC podcast on Twitter. Go and do that. And yeah, you can just laugh at us being just the most ridiculously optimistic people on in the world, let's say, at the minute. But yeah, no, that's all the stuff that we've got coming out from the pod.
absolutely. Matt, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks everyone for watching at home, and we'll see you again for another League One podcast next week.